listen to me.
Absolute bullshit.
Drake.
Yo, I think we gotta also really account for the fact that Ross might just be doing pothead shit. He really is like a really rich pothead. Like one thing about like having money and stuff like that, and nice clothes, it makes it like less obvious that you smoke mad weed. Now it's like even right here, Ross is high as hell. And most of these videos where he talking crazy, that nigga is lit. He sound lit. He done had two bags of lemon pepper wings. You know what I'm saying? He exhausted from sucking his fingers. Pause. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't with them. I wasn't there.
Okay.
With them.
I have
With
you.
them. You gotta.
A salad costs $24
You listening to this, homie? Listen to me. Shine. I don't want to see you lose. No one want to see you lose. This culture, this game, this rap shit, this ain't what it's about. I don't want to see you lose.
Ricky Rose knew he was getting dissed on this album, and from what it looked like, he had anxiety. The last thing you want
He said he had anxiety. Yo, I mean, and again, I think it's more about the fact that it's like, damn, I've been shitting on Drake for the last few years. Now I'm getting ready to put some music out. I ain't putting the music out in a long time. Let me tell you something, like, when Royce da 5'9" told a story about the reason why the album with him and Lupe never came out, it didn't come out because him and Lupe had a conversation. Lupe said to him, I don't feel confident enough to do the project right now. And same thing with Andre 3000. I think Andre said he got like a bunch of music in a vault somewhere, and you never heard any of it because he just didn't really have any confidence in it. He didn't feel confident in it, and we'll never know what it sound like. And it may be some really great stuff. Who knows? These people are people whose brains are wired just a little bit differently from ours. You know what I mean? So what makes sense to them won't really make sense to us. But also too, everyone's not a superstar. Everyone's not a leading man. Like I've learned that over the last few years about like the difference in the mindset of a winner and people who just aren't really winners and how they look at life. And for most of those people, life is kind of happening to them. They're not proactive people. They're not necessarily doing everything they can do to improve their situation. You understand? So what Rick Ross has not caught on to is that, nigga, you need to go get with all the new niggas and rap on they shit. All right? And mix what you've been doing with the new shit. That's it. You don't make it complicated. Go get people that no one knows. Because the people who are really trying to get on and that no one knows and whatnot, yo, they'll give you one. They'll give you one of their records. All right? It's a really good system. Ross ain't done that. Like, Ross is really stuck into this character that he created. You know what's crazy about the fact? No, listen. If Ross had been light-skinned and we'd have found out that Ross was a CEO when he telling you that he was the biggest boss that you've seen thus far, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be a CEO doing, you know what I mean? But we let him get it off. Like, we found out that Rick Ross was CEO. Niggas like Rick Ross so much that people didn't really care. I was like, nigga, you a rapper anyway, right? But a part of that was the fact that people like Rick Ross. Rick Ross made good music. We didn't want to lose Rick Ross. I mean, that's really a thing. Like, you don't want to lose people, right? But that was a thing. And you may call it dark skin privilege. I'm calling it dark skin privilege. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid. You know what I mean? Not afraid at all.
What's your experience like in Atlanta, like being ugly?
You know what I'm saying? I'm the guy.
A guy's guy.
I'm the guy.
A guy's guy. Yeah.
Got LaFleur, my boy.
Here is that somebody that makes hit records is going to be putting out a song dissing you. That news right there could ruin your entire year. But after Iceman came out last night and Ricky Rose saw it was nothing but a light jab to him, he's officially back to trolling Drake. Rick Ross went on Instagram to read some hate comments about Drake's album and also let him know that he's officially washed.
Bars. Damn. Niggas say 3 albums are trash albums, 2 years too late. What site is this? Complex? The Glazer University.
God damn, let me tell you something. That is high nigga talk if I ever heard it. That nigga is lit. Okay, his eyes are extra tight. Eyes are extra red right now, my boy.
Oh my God. I've been a long fan. Oh my God. Mr. YouTube. Fuck a big three anyway. There was too many chefs in the kitchen. Bars. Come on, guys. Stop. Y'all gotta, let's all leave little man's alone now, man. He did it. He dropped 3 mid projects. Hey, man, it was fun while it lasted. You're washed. R.I.P. to the Drake stands. Can only imagine what that feels like. Well, I really couldn't. But for those that didn't know, I was a big boy making big boy records when homie was on Degrassi. Now, back to the big business. My new book is in stores and everywhere books said. I want to thank everybody that's been showing love.
Now, Ross did not stop there. After Rory and Mal criticized him and called him weird earlier this week,
can we finally admit that Rick Ross is weird?
Why? Why do you say that?
And I know this is...
You said finally admit like we've been like holding that in. Like, what you mean finally admit? Like,
well, we did talk about this in the beginning after the Like That thing and the 20v1 started. And I know we are the Drake Bias podcast, but I'm speaking from a very objective place. We didn't put enough light into how weird it was that Rick Ross entered into that rap beef.
yes,
What did you have to... Like, why are you in this whole thing? And then you came up with an excuse that it was because Drake didn't clear his verse for French Montana's album, which made all the sense in the world because everyone was waiting for Drake to say something in the biggest moment, and it wasn't about to be a verse he did 10 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then French Montana is sitting next to him going like, "No, I was fine with it."
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck are you doing, Rick Ross?
But
You're finding any way to just get in this shit, and now you're telling, yo, I want to see you win, homie. Shut up.
But we saw-
Shut up. He's
but
one of my favorite rappers. He's hilarious. His discography is incredible. But that's some weirdo, like, that's super weird.
Yeah, but
is that not weird?
We knew it. We knew what that was in the moment, though. We said that. We said it was weird for him to do that. We said he was trying to capitalize at the moment. He shot a video for the song with a bunch of Bel Air around him. Like, people were trying to capitalize.
Yeah, so like, that's like one of those things, right? With like black people, where when people feel as though, like, cause like black people have this thing where they feel as though, all right, boom, I can make you into a victim. I can be someone that casts trauma upon you. I feel as though that's my right to cast trauma upon you. Be the reason why you don't trust people. It's up to me to have that power in your life. It's what I mean again about relationships. Cause from the beginning, people should have been calling out all this is weird behavior. Drake has done mad music with you. What do you mean you're dissing him? What do you mean you have a diss record for him? No one was talking to you. Like, no one was talking to you. I forget how this even started. But from the beginning, it was like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And I think Ross just got caught up in the moment. And listen, I'm going to keep it a stack with you. Coming from a nigga who smoke weed, a lot of this may just be like weed talk and weed talk getting him into shit. A lot of people who smoke weed don't be realizing, no, weed be getting you into shit, bro. I'm just saying. Think about it. So, Ross, didn't take kindly to this clip right here. And they had a good point. Now, rather than addressing his point, which was a very good one, which was, you didn't have no reason to go at Drake. It's it's very obvious. It's become abundantly clear that you wanted to just, for one to clout chase, one to capitalize, and you got a chance to get your real feelings off. Let me keep this, listen. Rick Ross has a more unique relationship to Drake because he has experienced a portion or a piece of the success that Drake has experienced. And he knows what it's like to be really hot. And he hasn't really been hot in a long time. And it's not because he can't be hot. It's just more so because, for one, most rappers don't really have but so many kinds of albums they could do. But so many things they could really say. Like, Ross is just not really that creative. And that's a part of like street rappers being street rappers. Is that most street rappers, they really lack creativity. They lack versatility, you know what I'm saying? And they make projects that are way too long. And Ross is one of those kind of people that like, yo, like you do not have diverse subject matter. But you know what's one thing that no one's gonna say about the Rick Ross album? No one's gonna be saying Rick Ross didn't show any growth. Rick Ross, he just refuses to grow. Pause. When is he going to grow? When is he going to show growth? I'm seeing these critiques online. Y'all niggas is really basically saying, I don't like Drake because he doesn't make whack songs. No one wants to hear anyone rap a song about taking your kids to school. Y'all want him to rap a song about taking his kids to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? I tell my son to protect his neck and keep his neck up. I was disappointed when he cried at the check. do you want to hear bars like that? No. Jay-Z's worst album is his so-called introspective album. I hate 444. I fucking hate that album. You know why? Because they ain't got no beats on it. He rapping off beat. It's the album where he forgot how to rap and everything. He's going to tell me, oh, I'm being my most honest. You can count that to yourself. I don't want to hear about that. It didn't help me. And no disrespect to Jay-Z or his family and Lemonade and Cranes in the Sky. But I'm going to keep it a stack with you. It did nothing for me. And it was just weird. And a lot of the bars just wasn't hitting. I don't know why you thought you wanted to hear an album with you rapping off beat, but you put that out as a trying to make a statement. I don't know. But anywho, you gotta use that gun. You know what I mean? Shot yourself in the foot.
Tonight, I want to see you use that gun.
Use that gun.
In the moment, like we knew what that was. We knew what that moment.
Okay.
It was a moment.
No,
People were trying to
here's the thing.
capitalize.
Even if it's petty reasons, I understand the Metro thing and there's women involved, Weekend, there's exes involved, and maybe Drake fucked someone's baby mother, or there's some slimy shit going on with women, because that's usually how things get to this point. Rick Ross said, oh, he didn't clear a verse for French, so fuck him, I'm in this now. After he gave me all my #1 records. That's like, everyone else.
Rick Ross has an album and a half worth of songs with Drake. You can literally make an album out of all the songs he has with Drake. He performs at least a few Drake records every time he performs. He has to. People are looking to hear those songs, which is fine. But you also can see that, that this is also narc behavior. This is jealousy, because a part of a narc always feels like you shouldn't have the things they want. And it's always the weirdest thing when someone because again, this is a zone. This is a state of being, right? Because if you never been him, you maybe never experienced someone basically not understanding or not being able to imagine how they look, hating on you to your face. Like in their mind, it doesn't occur to them that, all right, this is unnecessary. It doesn't occur to them that you sound crazy talking to this person this way. Or this is unwarranted. Like, why are you talking to them this way? Or why are you being rude? Or why? Oh wow, like that was very rude. Like why would you say that type shit? You know what I mean? Because in their mind, however they feel about you, they feel justified in attacking you. Look out for people like that. You cannot grow around people like that. You cannot become the person you need to be. Everything is about confidence, and everything is your belief in why this needs to happen. All right. I bet on myself every single time. You got to become the kind of person that you can bet on. You dig? Because at the end of the day, especially if you're a grown up, you have to outgrow wanting someone to tell you that was good or you're on the right path. You need to know for yourself and refine your idea of right from wrong every single day on a daily basis. It's an ever-going thing, ever-going pursuit. Doesn't stop. All right.
I understood why, even if it wasn't a great reason, I understood why the 20v1 existed and everything in the history with Drake and certain artists. Rick Ross, who's his mans, just entered into that beef because he wanted to. I guess I'm saying it was called out, but it wasn't highlighted enough in that whole thing of why is Rick Ross doing this. So when he gets and is talking to Ebro, what was his quote? We want to see you win, homie. Like, shut up.
So he can't say he want to see Drake win? No, nobody can backpedal because it's a lot of that going on right now. Niggas can't slide.
I don't want to see you lose, fam.
Well, I think it was deeper than that. I think because he was on that record with French, I believe.
No, the leak exists. You can YouTube that shit now. It's just Drake and French.
Oh, so Ross wasn't on it? Because I really thought Ross was on that record.
Even if he was, okay.
Yeah, but if he was, it would help.
French don't even care.
I know French doesn't care, but I'm just saying if he was, we know what that's about. It helps the artist streams at the end of the year. It looks good. We knew what that whole play was about. And this is what I said when I said people need Drake. They need him. They don't stream well without him. Rappers don't stream well without hit records. And who's giving people more hits than anybody else in rap? Drake. So now when I'm not giving you the verse that I used to give you because I'm doing other things.
They have like 7 classic records together,
Yeah,
and
but
I'm sure Drake would have wanted to continue to work with Rick Ross.
At some point, yes. But if Ross needs it right now,
on a
he's
French
like,
Montana album?
yeah, but if Ross needs a verse right now and he needs to stream this year, his numbers this year, he needs those streams, then you can see why a rapper would feel some type of way if you giving 21 all these verses in an album, you giving Sexy Red, you giving this person, that person, and then I can't get one. You can see how some people will then show their true colors and be like,
Well, you explain it, the weird heard it.
I think that Drake putting Sexy Red on Mad Records is one of the most disrespectful things to hip hop. I think it's really fly. He said, "Listen, I'd rather hang out with Sexy Red and just let Sexy Red just like talk on my songs than rather than have a verse from y'all or give y'all a verse or even talk to y'all." Sexy Red is on one of these albums, actually. You know what I mean? So like they were saying before that she was cited in Canada, so I guess she's in the video that for the song they did and all that.
I understand, but the weirder part to me is during the verses when he's doing Drake's records or the records that he has with Drake, he doesn't want to let Drake's part play, but Drake had to clear those songs to be performed at the verses.
Facts.
Which is, I don't know if people know that or not. Like Drake had to clear those songs so that they are able to be performed.
Which, by
so
the way,
if he's clearing it, meaning he's like, all right, cool, whatever. Like even after you dissed him and did all of that, Drake ain't act salty and be like, nah, fuck that. Like you can't.
Oh, please don't do that.
What? He cleared the song because he performed the record.
I would have too. And Drake is petty and has every right to be petty. He didn't clear that out of good faith and good love for hip hop.
I didn't say that.
He did that. He cleared those to show all the other rappers, you can't do a verses without the songs that I gave you.
Obviously, but then why not?
That was a petty reason, not a good-hearted one.
For sure. But then why not just let my hook play there?
Well, no, that's also,
at that point.
That's really why I'm highlighting this. Is outside of just what he said with Ebro. I thought that was corny as fuck that Ross did that based off their history and how weird it was for him to enter that. Like I could see it. People do that if there's some real bad history there. There isn't that history.
Yeah.
You're just weird. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, the fuck did he do to you?
Yeah.
And that's one thing about these last 2 years that people who want to yell in your face how Drake is a degenerate and you're a bad person if you listen to Drake, and Kendrick Lamar is your savior. Kendrick Lamar is Black Jesus. He is Dr. Sebi with a 16. He's all that in a bag of chips. That nigga went to the Super Bowl and did a performance where he performed with 2 of Drake's ex-girlfriends. And the highlight of the performance is you having Bloods and Crips dancing around you while you rapping. And you wore some tight ass jeans with flares at the bottom. And I'm saying, and you stared into Drake. You stared into the camera and said, "Stay Drake." Hearing Glasses Malone talk about how he talks about that moment as if it was like a great moment for hip hop. It was so amazing, and it's exhilarating, and somehow we move forward. And a part of that is because real talk again. A lot of us don't realize that we don't understand what progress is. We don't understand what winning is. We don't even value actual winners. Actually, we like to prop up people who actually aren't that talented, who aren't that great. It's because they fit our idea of something, right? So, anywho, going back to the whole thing with Drake and Ross, right? And I think they're making a good point, but when people have this conversation, they don't speak enough about how much it wasn't normal for someone like Rick Ross to be going at Drake on records and publicly speaking out against Drake and dissing him and this and that while this whole thing is going on, given their history. You know what I mean? And rather than keeping it real or coming up with a better reason, especially given that French Montana is saying, I ain't no problem with Drake. And the whole backtracking thing that's going on, where all the media outlets, all the media personalities are all trying to kind of, for the most part, speak as if, you know, it's not that serious, it really wasn't nothing type shit. And it's like, nah, nigga, like, no, nigga, they do. You supported and celebrated a record about me messing with kids, which also promoted the idea that, yo, and listen, like, dudes who are losers, dudes who ain't got no motherfucking emotion, right? Like guys who like basically creep women out, or women find to be kind of like just not really endearing or attractive and whatnot. They love the idea that Drake is a PDF file. They're really into the whole like Jeffrey Epstein thing and Epstein Island and I'm not saying these things aren't valid, but it's like they're obsessed with those kind of things. You know, we want to see who's on the travel logs. We need to see that travel log list and this and that. Like, you know, they're the kind of people who like fixate on conspiracy theories and things like that. But another part of it is that they're not the guy, and this is also another example of how losers start to have a voice. A loser could never have a voice before, and all losers do is just lower the standard for men and women to the point where we all become like just lesser versions of ourselves, because the things we focus on, the things we care about, don't really matter, right? But going back to my point about black people showing you don't know how to have a relationship. If you don't think Rick Ross's behavior is weird as hell, that means that you don't know how to be a friend. If you think it's not weird that J. Cole, Rick Ross, all these different people didn't say not one word while that was going on, not a tweet, not a retweet, they didn't repost Family Matters, they didn't say nothing. Or you had someone like Rick Ross saying, yeah, nigga's over for you. Joe Budden saying it's over for you. And like, yo, listen, Joe Budden got every reason in the world to not like Drake. Him and Drake are Eskimo brothers. Drake done smashed a few of his drones. It's understandable. Shout out to Ack. Ack pointed out, you know what? It makes sense, and it's better y'all just say it like that. Same thing with Charlamagne. Bro, it make more sense for you to say, I ain't never had those kind of advantages. You know what I'm saying? I was never him. Charlamagne was a little slime bag ass nigga, you know what I'm saying, before he had a rebrand. Again, that nigga just say wild and crazy shit to the females in those shows. I want to drink your bath water. Oh, I suck a fart your butt. This real like real 30. These are things that men say when they know they ain't shit. These are things that men say when they ain't got no emotion. And that also means that when men talk like that, that means they'll do anything. Charlamagne will definitely gut you. If he can get away with offering you, I think, allegedly, everything I say on here is alleged. I'm just saying, the observation I made is that I think he would definitely, if he needed to, he'd get ready to you, son. He got that kind of personality. I mean, y'all don't see it as much because he plays Mr. Politics now and whatnot. But again, the biggest part of Charlamagne's legacy has been shitting on Drake. It's not really critiquing Drake. It's been shitting on Drake. And what Charlamagne did was he made people not enjoy Drake's music as much as they would. It's a saying that no matter how good this fried chicken is, if I tell you, no matter how much I clean it off, if I tell you that I dropped it in some dirt, doesn't matter how much I cleaned it off, you knew I dropped it in dirt. Or if I say, hey, you know this chicken was dropped in dirt, right? Or how like some people, some people, I don't know. It always bothered me that my ex-girlfriend like really believed that the Chinese food store on Main Street was running through the grass looking for rats to take it to the store to chop up and sell. And then told me like, yeah, I saw that guy. He was in the grass looking for mice. Nigga, what? What psychedelics you taking? How much they cost? Stop taking them. You know what I'm saying?
Tonight, I want to see you use that gun.
I mean, like,
I'm a decent man from the city of demons. Niggas.
All right, man. So,
but a lot of that.
We're going to stop right there for right now. We'll be at a minute and 14 minutes. All right. We're going to pause that. I'm going to pick up in a little bit.
I'm back on the next morning, baby. So let's continue with the crash out. All right, so I think we got some more audio. So, I am coming to you from the future. Pause. Relax. Technology, baby. Let's go ahead and keep listening to the crash out. So this ain't really the end of it, man. Yo, your boy Ross is going crazy. I ain't gonna hold you, and I ain't gonna lie. He kind of tweaking. I ain't gonna hold you. Oh. Let's change the mic real quick. My bad. Oh.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and get back into the crash out with Rick Ross. So apparently, this goes kind of crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. This is the beginning. Now, mind you, this is Rory and Mal having really a general conversation. They ain't called Ross no names. They didn't say Ross was washed. All right, they didn't say your music is whack. You know what I'm saying? Listen, at one point, Ross was calling Drake white. Not white man. I think when he first announced that the album's called Iceman, Rick Ross said, "What's the album you got that you working on? White Man." Anyway, Ross, listen, niggas trying to do revisionist history. Ross is trying to move like as if he wasn't moving like a total hater a few years ago. But again, you know what though? But I'll blame the community. Because the black community is a safe haven for hoes and a safe haven for haters. Because for the most part, what should have been happening was Rick Ross should be in the headlines as Rick Ross is being a hater. Rick Ross is being a generational hater. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Rick Ross is damn near on some reverse Uncle Ruckus energy. It's a very dangerous space to be in, and I don't think you guys understand the repercussions of what's going on right here. So let's go ahead and play this again. So I gotta make sure we linked up and all that. You know what I'm saying? All right.
The fuck did he do to you?
Yeah, but a lot of that was weird in that moment. Well, we know that now, looking back 2 years. Like, we know a lot of the things that happened was weird. A lot of the things that was said was weird. A lot of things felt like it came out of nowhere. What was that for? What issue does this person have with him? Like, it was a lot of that going on, but it was also a moment for people to try to capitalize and try to, gain whatever they could out of the moment. Like, and we said that when he jumped in, and we was like, "Yo, bro," like, I even said it, Ross. I was like, "Yo, Ross, just fall back. This ain't the time for that right now." Like, I remember saying, like, "Yo, this is a one-on-one. Like, we don't really need that right now. We don't care about what that is. Like, we could do that after." It just didn't feel right. It felt like he was trying to get in on it and capitalize.
Ross also had some words for Rory Mal.
It's a beautiful morning, perfect time to feed you.
All right, so that shit called Renaissance of a Boss. Let me tell you something. First of all, I had no idea you was doing a book. You know what I'm talking about? You see how like I don't know what the book is about? I don't know about the book. The book is to promote the album. I keep telling y'all, Ross is not confident in his album rollout. He know that the sales ain't going to be strong. We still ain't really heard. Well, I mean, he might have a record out. Let's see. Rick Ross Records 2026.
Ross will release his new album, Set in Stone, on June 12, 2026. It's his 12th studio album and includes the song.
Okay, so all right, so Makes in Miami. So that's the joint he got with French Montana and Max B. So I didn't know who that belongs to. I'm gonna go hear it again. That was pretty good. That was pretty cool. Like I was saying before, early in the video, I think Ross can still do it, but the bar has raised so much when it comes to like what people think is entertaining or what people consider to be entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So with Ross and a lot of other artists, what they don't get is you have to get with new people, with young people with just with new energy and a new sound to kind of help, kind of like help to revitalize your own sound. Now that's what Jay did. Jay did that a lot, like in terms of aligning himself with newer talent or doing songs with people that you don't know as well, or people who aren't as famous, like having John Legend on, like on Kingdom Come, he had John Legend, had Chrisette Michelle. I mean, well, it wasn't a ton, but still, but he still had newer voices on there that you weren't as familiar with. You know what I mean? And from there, people kind of grew their fan bases off that. You know what I mean?
Yourself the knowledge. What's that? Rory and Mal, get off your knees. Get the testicles out of your mouth now. I don't know which one, the white one or the black one. Y'all both the same. Rory Mall, the Glazers. The Glazers. How y'all feel now? You know, Drake just committed suicide. I'm sure he'll retire next month. How is this lawsuit doing? How is the Drake University lawsuit coming? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I didn't listen to YouTube, man, last night. I'm just going by what you guys say. But once again,
This nigga said the Drake University lawsuit. This nigga means Drake versus UMG. I didn't even catch that. And I don't think he caught that either, because that's how high Rick Ross is. This nigga is high off his rocker. Like I said before, when you got nice clothes and a good aesthetic, it's really easy to hide when you got problems. You know what I mean? And people always talk about how people in the industry are such weirdos. And I suppose you can't get but so far in any entertainment, I guess, capacity without creating a character for yourself. Rick Ross created this Rick Ross character all those years ago. And he played it so well, like I was saying earlier in the video. I be forgetting that 50 Cent exposed you for being like a CEO. And all you did was say, yeah, well, even when I was doing my job, I was doing my job. Shut the fuck up. You trying to tell me that you became a CEO as an elaborate plan to be able to move drugs throughout the prison? Nah, B. Nah, nigga. No, you smart. You smart, Rick Ross. You are a survivor, my brother. Nothing to be ashamed of. But also, so anyway, so he's also speaking on the Iceman album. A lot of us are saying the same thing. It's not going to be how it was before. That era is over. The era where you had Joe Budden and Charlemagne and all these niggas trying to go crazy and everything. Also, they was getting their pockets lined up allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to leave that alone for right now. But that was the era. But not only that, you got to realize that was just a time where people wanted to see the top guy lose. And that's the concept a lot of y'all are foreign with. And you won't know what that means. First of all, you had to be on a different level of consciousness to even acknowledge when this is happening to you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, where's my soundboard? You know what I mean? Gotta have someone to speak on your behalf.
Ain't nobody gonna step up and speak on your behalf.
Gotta have somebody speak on your behalf.
You
know what I'm saying? If you ain't been solid, and Ross, you not being a solid nigga. Also, how you feel. Listen, these niggas is trying so hard to convince people that they not enjoying music. I told y'all before, that conscious shit, conscious rap, lyrical, miracle, these is all genre. These are genres of rap, right? Not being able to make a record is a genre of rap. I mean, if you think about it, right? If a nigga got joints, we don't call his sound nothing. We may call it his name, right? But we're not gonna call you conscious or say you're this kind of person. A lot of people felt like Kendrick should have beat Drake in the battle because Kendrick rap lyrical miracle, or he sound like he raps about a lot, which is the craziest shit in the world. I'm like, God damn. One of the illest things that Jay ever said, this was his critique of Nas. He said, just because you don't understand him, it doesn't mean that he nice. That's hard. Pause. And what he was saying was, just because someone raps in a way that seems complex, that seems like they saying something, that's the difference than actually saying things that resonate with people or saying things that actually entertain people. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people in hip-hop, a lot of rappers and artists in general, y'all don't do well in this because you don't really embody the elements of being an artist, where you're trying to be creative, where you're doing it, based off your pride. You're like, all right, listen, I take pride in this, so therefore I want to keep pushing myself. I'm still trying to be the very best. I'm trying to really outdo what I did last time in every aspect, not in the aspect that's comfortable for me. You understand? But anyway, yeah, Rick, right, yeah. So Ross, yeah, man, you gotta try harder, bro. This is weird. That nigga called this is Rory the Throat Goat. This is crazy. So Ross is right. R.I.P. It just crashing out, and this is the dangerous zone to get in because, like I was saying before, if no one ever checks you on your hater energy, I remember years ago, right, when I was a young boy, when I was a young boy. Anyway, when I was a young boy, I was in I think I was like 15 or so. And I forgot what I said. I was talking to a homeboy of mine, and we were talking about a guy that we knew. And I ain't gonna lie, like, not that I didn't like him, the dude that we was talking about, but I said something, and my man said, yo, let's call him T. He said, yo, you be hating on T. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't saying no crazy way. He wasn't like being antagonizing and whatnot, but he was saying it in a way where I could see, yo, you sound like a hater. You know what I mean? Type shit. And I love him for that. Not T, but my homeboy Mitchell. Because him holding me accountable made me more aware of, no, I'm being negative, or I'm having negative thoughts for no reason. Because you got to realize, not that you can never critique someone without them doing anything negative to you, but if you know someone personally and y'all haven't had a negative interaction at all, it is not normal to have negative feelings towards them. And that was another thing about the whole Drake thing, was the fact that all these people who was dissing Drake, you couldn't trace it back. Like there was no story around that where it was like, oh, it's for this reason. Oh, okay, all right, so I get it. You and Rick Ross and Drake didn't have no beef. Y'all didn't have no actual problem. Drake and Kendrick don't have no problem. Never had no problem. And Kendrick ain't never told you he had a problem with you. And on top of that, when Kendrick was in Toronto, y'all pieced it up and said what's up and kicked it. And there was no problems. So for Kendrick to be throwing subs and this and that, yeah, it's weird. And when people were critiquing the whole thing, they never wanted to acknowledge anything negative that was coming from the other side, or anything that didn't make any sense. Everything, you had people who made the case of nah, it's how it's supposed to be. It's how it's supposed to be. It's what's supposed to happen. Even like y'all was saying, like, there's channels that do what they call predator catches, where they pose to be, they pose as a young person, a young boy, a young girl that's underage, and these chat rooms, dating sites and stuff like that, and they lure these people out to their what they call a sting house or location, or sometimes they'll come to that person's house, right? And they will play Not Like Us, or they'll play like a remix Not Like Us, and it's like, yeah, and why is that? Because in their minds, that's what Drake represents. In their minds, what this song song is about, basically child molesters. This song is about people who SA children. That's what that song is about. It's not really it's not just about hip hop. People associate that song with that theme, and somehow that song really again makes light of that whole concept, as if it's not the most horrific thing ever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like someone rapping about your grandma getting shot in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like anyway, I don't have a freestyle bar for that, but anyway.
Up again, baby. It's the biggest boss. Where's Iceman? There's Iceman. The throat goats are in the building, guys.
Now, the funny part is that Rory and Maul actually fuck with Rick Ross. If you guys listen to their podcast, Maul actually has vouched for Rick Ross on multiple occasions. But just like in media, the one time you speak negatively about somebody, that's really the only time they hear what you say about them. Now, just like you guys saw in the video, Ricky Rose is currently promoting his book, and he's also got an album coming out June 12th. So this is also his way of getting into the algorithm and also getting people to talk about him, and in turn giving him free promo. Now maybe it's just me, but there's a part of me that feels like Ricky Rose does want to make amends with Drake, regardless of Ricky Rose trolling Drake on.
I'm gonna let chicks chill. So it's a dangerous space to get in, right? So I'll say this about Rick Ross's behavior as well. When things go unchecked, you also don't know how to express your feelings. Rick Ross is having a hard time expressing his feelings. Like the fact that you a big artist, I mean, you still a big enough artist, right? Like, in more ways than one. Pause. The fact that this also shows love too. The fact that Chig just saying, hey, you know, this right here is a part of his rollout. This is how he's getting back in the algorithm. Nigga, he's being really disrespectful to two men who have not been disrespectful to him. If we was having a conversation in real life and you start basically saying that I'm a cocksucker and whatnot, we're no longer having a friendly conversation, and at that point we're getting ready to have a fight. At that point, these are fighting words. Let's be very clear. Those are fighting words. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into, you know, this further the crash out. Hold on, man. Rick Ross. So this is the next one. This shit goes like back and forth.
YouTube. Shit.
Not the Rory and Maul podcast of the old. Now that these guys got some street ties with them, it's war. Anybody can get the smoke, no matter.
Alright, so they got Zip with the Drip on there now. You know what I mean? So Zip with the Drip is a real wild New York nigga. I ain't gonna hold you. Alright, but let's check him out.
Terry from Rory and Maul, and also seen Rory and Maul call him weird.
What's that? Rory and Maul, get off your knees. Get the testicles out of your mouth now. I don't know which one, the white one or the black one. Y'all
I'm gonna fast forward.
University lawsuit.
Episode.
Something else with Ross.
Yeah,
and I
don't
was like,
never
oh,
say
so
no
the shit that Ross said. He was talking about something else with Ross.
Yeah,
and I
don't
was like,
never
oh,
say
so
no
shit.
Show Ross.
I was like, nah, it's fine, bro.
Show Ross.
I said, it's fine, it's fine, bro.
Now, this is probably the smartest move. This is a great chess move on the part of Rory and Maul. I don't know where Zip with the Drip came from. I don't know how long he been on the show. I don't know how long he gonna be on the show. But he was perfect for this moment. Now, this right here, if they smart, which they are, so I see they're being smart about it. And what they're doing is trying to take full advantage of the moment. This is a great time to go viral, a great way to go viral. You understand? So, having Zip with the Drip there, Zip with the Drip is about to go on a generational rant against Rick Ross. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's check him out. Let's check him out.
So nah, but I'm passionate with these niggas, right? So if you ever say some shit like that again about some dick sucking shit, and I'm saying we're gonna talk about how many dicks you saw as a correction officer.
Damn.
Cause that's your job to look at dicks and nuts and assholes and all of that.
That's
You
not
do
his
that.
job.
You're not gonna be talking about dick suckers when you done saw more dicks than the average man in this world. Like, there's not too many men on the planet Earth that saw more dicks than you as a correction officer. Let's get that out the way. You had the strip search niggas. You looked at the balls. You made a nigga separate the dick from the balls. You made a nigga turn around and spread his asshole open.
All right. That shit get real graphic. I'm turning that to a soundbite. I'm sorry. That's crazy. You need someone to speak on your behalf, man. Goodness gracious.
And ain't nobody gonna step up and speak on your behalf.
That's a fact.
If you ain't
Nigga.
been a solid nigga.
Nah, you ain't been a solid nigga, man. That's why you got Zip with the Drip talking about you and balls, man. And this is also, listen, you have to stay on the path of the righteous. When you do not remain righteous, you will find yourself in the subject of conversations of niggas talking about you looking at testicles, talking about how you he said you gave him a cavity search. He said you told niggas to cough. Ross, did you tell him to cough? Rick Ross. I'm talking to you right now. You getting bodied by a thinking nigga.
You did that as a correction officer. You signed up for that. So we're not gonna be talking about no imaginary dick suckers when you really did shit like that. Like, you saw more dicks than the average porn star in 1 year. 1 year working, you saw more dicks than the average porn star. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Don't.
My bad.
Nigga, when you was. Huh? How many dicks you saw doing that? Use the gun tape.
Yo, Zip.
That job, Rick Ross? While you was the CO, they ever gave you that job? The urines? Like, you ever took the urines? Like, you ever had to watch a nigga pee in that cup? Huh? You ever had the nigga watch a nigga soft put his wee-wee in the cup and pee?
Not
and make
soft.
sure he don't put nothing in it? Huh? You ever had to do that, Rick Ross? Huh? Don't make my mans no imaginary dick eaters when you maybe in your job had to watch a nigga put a flashy wee in a cup and pee in it. Watch your fucking mouth, nigga. Respect my niggas. My niggas is like don't do no shit like that no more.
Yo, after you said he had to do.
Oh man.
And ain't nobody gonna step up and speak on your behalf.
That's a fact.
If you ain't been a solid nigga.
I'ma keep it a stack with you. This is one of the times where like having a hood nigga around you is very helpful. Having a wild, disrespectful nigga is very helpful. Now this right here is this some pit bull stuff, and they probably gonna have to go through great lengths to keep Zip with the drip under control. Because if he don't respect Ross, he definitely don't respect them at any given time. He may up the blicky on them. All right. Matter of fact, that probably will be a story arc where Zip the Drip is just. That's probably how he gonna get mad. He gonna get way more popping. He gonna get popping from having a beef with Rory and Mal. Cause I'm hearing him talk crazy about Ross, and it's very creative, and it's definitely a freestyle too. That was off the dome. He didn't even think about that. All right, because I could tell by how the ideas were piling onto the other. You know what I mean? So when he started talking about basically whether or not the penis was hard enough, like who pees with an erection? But when he talked about the actual erectile integrity of the individual, I said, oh man, okay. Joker's going on for too long, ladies and gentlemen, too long. I'm gonna go back full screen.
Cavity checks. I look at the title Port of Miami way different.
Hey, you had to do cavity?
Holy shit.
Hey, dog, that was absolutely insane. Ricky Rose, you just met your match. And the best part is, Rick Ross does not know much, if anything, about Zip. So, you're not going to have much of a comeback. The only thing you can really do is take out your frustrations on Rory and Mal and go sit with the Joe Budden podcast. The last thing you want to do if you're Ricky Rose before your album comes out is to get into a back and forth with somebody that knows your entire background. And I know some of you guys might say in the comments, chicks, why don't Rory and Mal handle their own issues themselves? Like I told you guys in the last video, these guys, especially Mal, are huge fans of Rick Ross. They just happen to have a critique about Ross that Ross just wasn't fucking with. But after seeing this response from Zip, I don't think Ricky Rose is going to want these guys to be his fans anymore. You guys get in the comments below. What do you guys make of Zip's response on behalf of Rory and Mal to Ricky Rose? Do you guys think it was well deserved or going a little bit too far? Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later, man.
Can we finally admit that Rick Ross is weird?
Why? Why you say that?
And I know this is.
You said finally admit, like we've been like holding that in. Like, what you mean finally admit? Like,
well, we did talk about this in the beginning after the Like That thing and the 20v1 started. And I know we are the Drake Bias podcast, but I'm speaking from a very objective place. We didn't put an.
Yes,
what did you have to, like, why are you in this whole thing? And then you came up with an excuse that it was because Drake didn't clear his verse for French Montana's album, which made all the sense in the world because everyone was waiting for Drake to say something in the biggest moment. And
My bad, y'all. I'm trying to put my phone in.
And then French Montana is sitting next sense in the world because everyone was waiting for Drake to say something in the biggest moment, and it wasn't about to be a verse he did 10 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then French Montana is sitting next to him going like, nah, I was fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck are you doing, Rick Ross?
But
You're finding any way to just get in this shit, and now you're telling, yo, I want to see you win, homie. Shut up.
But we so
Shut up. He's one of my favorite rappers. He's hilarious. His discography is incredible. But that's some weirdo, like, that's super weird.
Yeah, but
So I'm gonna go ahead and expand on that real quick, so now we have more context, right? What Rory is speaking to is relationships, like I was saying before. The Drake and Kendrick beef, the Kamala and Trump campaign or presidential run, it really taught us a lot about what are the flaws we have as far as black folks in terms of how we think and how we see the world and what's left to be desired in terms of what's actually going to get us to the next level and what's something that's holding us all back or something that basically there's certain things that can be critiqued in terms of how we look at things. I know I keep saying in terms of, right? One thing we also learned was, and I mentioned this earlier in the video, was that a lot of us do not understand relationships. If you could look at the situation and say, all right, these people have a relationship and they clearly have more, Rick Ross has way more of a relationship with Drake than he does with Kendrick Lamar. And you would think that, okay, you have clearly at least a long-standing, long-lasting, at least business relationship. If you had someone you've done business with, right, that person or that entity would never align themselves with any kind of smear campaign against another entity they've done business with or they've been aligned with in the past, right? And like I said before, to be an artist, to really get far enough to be a rapper, especially like a rapper, right, you do have to be an extremely selfish person, take risks. It involves a lot of being broke for a super long time. And most people who try to be a rapper, they never actually make it, right? And also smoking weed is a part of it. I ain't gonna hold you. Listen, being a weed smoker comes with certain behaviors. And what you guys are seeing is like also what it looked like for an artist to have control over their own image, to do what they want with their image. And what Rick Ross is doing is, I mean, now it's like he's wearing the armor of legacy. His legacy is so strong, it's hard to say, you look like a fucking cornball. Rick Ross is on here conducting himself like a cornball and not an OG. Like getting up there and saying shit that sounds genuinely like bullshit. Saying, we don't want to see you lose, homie. Real niggas don't do that. We want to see you win. If he would have started with, I know I did a record, I know I jumped in there, I know I tried to boss my way into it, I tried to my way into the whole thing, and you really should have your way out of it. As soon as you started, that made no sense, especially given you're older. When you older, you have to respect when you older than people, and there's certain conversations you can't have. If you want to be the OG or the older, or at least the older person, on what the respect of I'm older than you, you have to move differently. Rick Ross wanted to have it both ways. He wanted to have it both ways. You want to have it both ways, and you can't have it both ways. Rick Ross, you want to be a competitor. You want to be, you want to throw your hat in the ring with these younger guys, even though like Drake is not young, but they're younger than you. So you want to throw your hat in the ring with these young guys to kind of see if you still got it. You want to still be relevant and whatnot. But here's the thing, though. You supposed to be relevant for rapping. That's nothing that we got to hold niggas accountable for. You should be talked about for rapping, because that's what you do is rap. And maybe Wingstop, because you do got some Wingstops. And I started recently eating Wingstop, and I've become a very big fan of Wingstop, okay? I like the mango, was it mango honey? The sweet Hawaiian? The hot honey rub? Hey, listen, I rock with it all, you understand? So, we're going to play a little more of this back and forth, man. So, I'm not really understanding why I had to go this far. No, I'm sorry, my bad. I do understand. Another reason why this whole thing went this far is because Rick Ross did not want to admit, yo, my feelings were hurt. Okay? Because that was very accurate. It was very accurate, and it called him out on his behavior. And let me tell you something. If you want to know,
you other glazers.
If you want to know when a nigga's mad, right? Whenever you start seeing black men act like women and act like black women in particular, because all men have experienced having a back and forth with a woman, and you guys are going back and forth, or it's getting heated simply because you gave an accurate critique or accurate assessment of their behavior or what they were doing, or basically calling them out when they did something wrong. Always pay attention. Matter of fact, Rick Ross voice. Always pay attention to how people act when you call them out. No, but seriously though, he didn't address their points. Because you responding to them and addressing them based off of that sound clip, and you are weird. And you can't come up with no good reason. And the fact that they point out that, yo, when you gave your reason for why you was in the beef, and French did not substantiate that claim, he didn't support it and say, yeah, you know, we was real tight in the group chat. I don't know. But he basically said, yo, I was good. I never was beefing with homie. I never had no problem with him. It's the verse. Rick Ross is telling people that, yo, you know, he ain't clear verse for my man French song. So here I am. Nigga, that's not enough. That doesn't make sense. You've lost confidence in what makes you you. You've lost confidence. I'm sorry. You lost confidence in what makes you interesting. People are not excited for the album. The album is next month. There is no anticipation for this album when it should be. I hope it's good. Anyway, so this is Ross really crashing out. So at this point, nigga, he talking about Maul's mother. So if you guys don't know Maul from the Rory and Maul podcast, Maul is the younger brother of Biggs Burt. All right, I guess that's his half brother or one of his brothers, right? So that's his brother, and in hip hop from Rockefeller. All right. So I don't know how, but Rick Ross somehow drags the whole family into the shit. Let's check it out.
Don't nobody love y'all. Damn. So, but you other dicks love you. I'm a Burke. You got somebody that love you. You got somebody that really love you. I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, oh, and I love that person too. So, but you other dick sucking minions, you other glazers, don't nobody love y'all. They don't love y'all. The streets don't love y'all.
So, what do you do when you're embarrassed? What do you do when everybody is publicly laughing at you? People are saying, bro, you're not the actual boss. If you gotta listen to somebody else on something you're doing, you're not a boss, you're still a worker. Now, Ricky Rose was left with two options. He could easily stop beefing with Rory and Maul or double down. This is some wild shit, you guys. In an attempt to save face, Ricky Rose is now crashing out. He's now officially gone from going at Maul's brother, Biggs, to Maul's mother. That's right, you guys. His mom that also has nothing to do with this situation.
Facts.
This is now personal, you guys. It was all fun and games. Couple jokes here, couple jokes there. But now you're going after the man's mom? And keep in mind, this is also Biggs' mom.
I don't know, it was a fun and game. Nigga, he called them nigga. He basically said SMD to them niggas. That's what he said. When we start mentioning situations where men have a penis in their mouth, nah, that's not fun and games. That's some serious shit. You know what I mean? Some serious stuff. So yeah, Ross is getting really out of character, or maybe this is always Ross' character. Like, you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, because before artists didn't have social media, artists couldn't just put out a video, right? And this is why, like, a lot of artists cannot be having a phone all the time. If a lot of artists have their phone all the time, or if they have access to their Instagram or their Twitter and stuff like that, yo, crazy shit happens.
As well. This absolutely makes no sense. Here's what Ricky Rose said.
It's a beautiful day to be a boss. Let me go out here in the ocean and see if it's any seaweed that needs to be cleaned up, because I know I got some minions that would love to clean the seaweed up. Barefoot Chronicles. Let me see if there's any seaweed.
Yo, what?
For the white boy and the black minions. Oh, I got motion. Rory and Mally Miles. I got this right here. Come get a rake and you get this up. And we hate people who litter in our beautiful backyard. So Rory, Mally, come get this up. Yep. But this is a great opportunity, Mally. So Mally, a friend of mine asked me to spare your brother, but I don't have to spare your mother. Yeah, your mother, what? Mally. Nigga, so what? Your mother, I want her behind the bar 7 Luke Belair and changing the channel. I don't want the remote. I want your mother, Mally, doing that. The white boy could be on the grill. The dude that sit on the floor, he could just get the algae and seaweed out of the ocean. I want him to get all the seaweed from over there.
This is not making no sense. I'm not really getting where the hell he going with this. Like, I'm like, what? All right, so you basically saying that you want to turn the Rory and Maul podcast to your slaves. and you want to turn Maul and Maul's mother into your slave. Well, I'm sorry, you want Rory to be your slave, and I don't get it. I don't get it. He talking about cleaning the seaweed up. I don't. All right, are you saying? All right, I think he started this joke off wrong. I think if he just started with, I know y'all struggling and you need money and the podcast ain't doing good, and here come my joke about, yeah, if you want, you come in and clean my pool, nigga. Like, all right, that make more sense rather than whatever this is. You know what I mean?
To over there.
Over there.
And I want your mom, tell your mama, your mama, to come cut on forensic files right now. Right now, Mally. Somebody do me a favor and Google Mally's mom's name and where she works. Because I want her to come and cut on the Kevin Hart roast. I want the Kevin Hart roast on. I don't want to use this no more. Rory, Mally, the Joe Button Jr. Varsity Squad. Come on now. Come on, guys.
Oh, man, I don't know, bro.
And ain't nobody gonna step up and speak on your behalf.
That's a fact. I don't know, Ross.
A solid nigga.
This dark skin privilege right here, and this dark skin privilege going out of control. Simply out of control. If you got a hater in your life, okay, you gonna have to step up. You gonna have to stand up. You can't be afraid. You gotta tell him, you gotta look him in the eye and say, hey, hey. Like Cuba Gooding Jr. in Men of Honor. Hey. You a fucking hater. Knock it off. And do this too. Like, and also do one of those to him. Nah, but real talk though. He is freestyling. He has not even thought about, what do I want to say? What do I want to get across? He's just turned the camera on. Like, what the hell is this? I mean, now I do kind of like the joke about, you know, I don't want to use the remote. I want her to change the channel. But there's this. I feel like I'm on the other side of the joke. I feel like you have a storyline in mind. Listen, this is where creativity gets out of control. I think in your mind you can see that being funny, and you're visualizing all them playing these roles and whatnot. But for us, it's like we're all lost. We're all lost. You want Zill with the drip to clean up the algae. For some reason, you want Rory to grill cheeseburgers, and you want Maul's mom to be there to change the channel. It's nasty work, man. All right, man. We're gonna cut it for right now, man. Y'all enjoy y'all day, man. I'm gonna
and ain't nobody gonna step up and speak on your
man. Love y'all.
behalf
Peace.
if you ain't been a